And we're back. Hello again. My phone. Hello again out there. So, yes, we are back where we left off with the Smith family or the Smythe family. I thought it was so funny once upon a time to name my first uh, couple the Smythes, and that's Smith with an E and then pronounced Smythe. And I think I'd come across this Irish surname, and I thought it was funny, or like not funny, really interesting, but funny to pronounce it Smythe. I don't quite remember, but I vaguely remember. You know, when you play Sims, you draw inspiration from like everywhere, especially for names. And so I think I that's what happened. And so this is the Smythe family or the Smith family. When I finally got to play again in 2013, after a few years of like on and off again playing, after like 8 years of on and off again playing, um, I guess this was just the first couple that came to mind. And you know what? I will say, I, I, how do I put this delicately? I was just thinking about it, and I realized I didn't make my world as diverse as it could have been and should have been. And, it is pretty diverse, but it, it's way, way, white. Which, there's not really anything wrong with that, but there kind of is. If you're making a fictional uh, society, uh, it does it does seem like more ideal to make like a an equal number of races represented. But I really default to white a lot, which is something I realized kind of recently. Like when I was thinking about how when I made those the fraternity and sorority founder for what is it for Academy Latour, how I didn't even consider making non-white Sims for those roles, and I seldom do. They really often, white is really often the default, and I don't mean to be all, I don't know if this would be considered political, but I don't mean to be all political or controversial or whatever, but I'm just criticizing myself. It's a not great habit, I think, in a sort of utopia, a simtopia where you can create any race. But again, I will say, making Eastern Asian Sims is difficult. Those eyes are hard in Create a Sim. But so of course, my first Sim couple that I created are these these excuse me are these white people are these white Sims, I should say. Um, Not that there's anything wrong with being white, obviously, but it's probably not great when it's your default to everything. But to be fair, I live in a very white world and country, so they kinda are. Actually, that's not totally true. The neighborhoods I've grown up in and schools I've gone to have actually been quite diverse. It's really only when I go out and enter like the Midwest and like go to like airports, funnily enough. Well, that's not really funny, but it's like that's where I really get to see it's that it we America's very majority white. But like in my own little towns, towns I've lived in, neighborhoods I've lived in. I mean, that's yeah, neighborhoods, not town. But I lived in towns too. But yeah, in my own little towns and neighborhoods, it's pretty diverse actually, which is why is even though it's not ideal, it is fairly diverse in my hood. Um, yeah. Anyway, so okay, so these are the Smythes, and they are very run of the mill. I don't even remember them that well. I know at some point they have a baby, but this is an intro to them. My very first Sim family in my current save, my 2013-2016 save, almost 4 years ago, really on the verge. Like, I don't know when I'm gonna put this up, but I'm gonna just reveal today is New Year's Eve. So, last day of 2019 here. Yeah, and so this was about 4 years ago. And why don't I go to the next picture now? Okay, so these are the Smythes in bed. I guess again I think of them as an Irish couple, and they are here cuddled up, and this was before I had a lot of EPs. This was back when I just had University and the original, the base game. So the background is very barren. I didn't have that setting where you could see the other houses yet. I don't think, anyway. I'm really just judging from this picture. But I know I didn't get those. I didn't install the EPs until a little bit later. And I didn't, even when I had all of them, I explained this in the last part, but I can understand if you didn't watch it. I had this routine of waiting about a month before I installed the next expansion pack because I wanted to see what each expansion pack brought to the game. And so it would have taken me a minute to have all the perks that you have by the time you install Free Time, which, as I said before, I still have not actually installed, even though I own it, because, I don't know, I haven't been compelled to, plus I took my hiatus before I got a chance to add it in there. My hiatus started back in 2016, and then I just never really went back to it until maybe recently, until possibly soon, I should say, not recently. The recently is implying the past. So soon maybe I'll start playing again. Anyway, so here are the Smythes cuddled up in bed in their little house. Oh, there, that's better. The walls are up in this one. And they've got all the drapings, literally the drapes. Well, the curtains. And so that's good. Yeah. And yep, this is a trailer home. Nothing wrong with a trailer home. But I think they just had woohoo and then they went to bed. I think these pictures are in order, unlike the EA pictures. Oh wow, she's pregnant already. I guess this was just the next time I took a picture. It really seems like an instant thing though when it jumps like that. But okay, so she's pregnant here, and yeah, I don't remember their first names, so forgive me. I just know this is the Smythe family, and my first family for my current save that I created. So this is him sort of serenading her. Adam, not Adam, what's the guy's name? Gomez? There's Morticia and Gomez Adams? And I remember watching it as a kid and thinking it was so sweet when he would kiss her like that. He was like obsessed with his gothic queen. And so she is very pregnant in this picture, and this picture, and this picture. Took a lot of pictures in like rapid succession, and it's like very repetitive. I'm like skipping through these fast now to make up for all my chatter. Okay, finally the baby is here. Do I remember his name? You bet I don't. But I know he's a boy because I was very gender normative with my colors, even though I really hated how limited the colors were, especially for boys. Yeah, but okay, so there's Lady Smythe bonding with Baby Smythe. But anyway, this is, I think her name is Sarah, but I don't know. Um, but Lady Smythe is, I think, doing the crossword while Baby Smythe is resting in his crib. Very cute picture. Okay, and now this is just Mr. Smythe, Sir Smythe, walking past mother and child. Now he's holding the baby. A lot of... I think I like this couple. I like that I put up their curtains. It means I cared. So just a lot of them in their little trailer home. Oh, okay, he's a toddler here. He's grown up. And he has brown hair like his mother. The father, I don't know if you can tell, but he has red hair. Because that to me was like quintessential Irish signifier. Yep, this father and son playing together, real cute like, and whole family eating together. The baby's tired, and tired still, and another angle, jeez. Oh, and this is Father Smythe teaching Baby Smythe to walk, or Toddler Smythe to walk. I gotta do something with that mailman, because I don't like when Sims are around too long. I give a pass to like the professors at college because I am not incorporating them into my game. But and it's like a funny kind of running gag a little bit that, oh, Professor so-and-so still here or still there, because that is a real thing that happens, that, your parent, that the parent can have the same teacher as the child has, or the child can have the same teacher that the parent or even grandparent had. But anyway, so this is just the boys, well, the father Smythe teaching son Smythe to walk, and now mother Smythe is teaching Baby Smythe, Toddler Smythe to walk. A lot of the same pictures, or pictures of the same scene. Very cute. Those pictures, I'm noticing, they were not the best quality, but I think they get better. Okay, now this is like a picture of the parking lot of that one boutique store in Pleasant View. That one clothing store. Okay, now just a random picture of the Caliente home, and Cassandra's walking by, and I took this pic, so it's my fault that this exists. Okay, this is Dawn making out with Kaylin, so there's gonna be storytelling reveals here, because the pictures will reveal it, and then I'll elaborate as needed. More than as needed, because I'm a talker. Oh boy, this is the twins fighting. That is unfortunate, but was once very common. And here's another of them fighting. Okay, this is my first, well, not my first, but my second Sims family of this save. Uh, these are the Salamancas, and I had the mother. I remember her name is Mary Soul, and the father is, I don't remember his name, but the grandfather is her father, is Mary Soul's father. Yeah. So, what I was saying is that I have a thing for this family where Mary Soul thought they're, they kind of need to assimilate. So the names she picked out for them are really American in her mind. The girl's name is Kelly. The boy's name is Justin. Get it? Because I sort of had it that, like, American Idol was very popular when they were born. So, first season, obviously. So yeah, that's a reference to. Yeah, and they're just a cute little family. Oh, actually, they're a wealthy family, but yeah, and kind of a big family. They have more kids now. Okay, and this is the woman. I explained this in the last one, but I'll explain it again. How, long story short, sort of a spoiler, Don marries Cassandra. Before I understood how it worked, I had him take her last name on accident because I had Cassandra initiate at the arch. And so they were legit married for a while. Then they divorced, and Don had to keep the Goth last name, which is wrong no matter who it is, honestly. And I don't know what I'm going to do in the future when Sims get divorced, because they shouldn't keep that name that they married into, right? So, yeah. But the way I fixed it without mods or real cheating was I created a sim for Dawn, this woman, Gina, I remember her name now, Gina Lothario, and I gave her the name I wanted Dawn to have, and it was Lothario, obviously, and so I had them marry, and I did cheat their relationship. I think I did. I might have actually played them to fall in love gradually. I have the vaguest memory of them falling in love gradually, but anyway, they eventually marry, then they divorce, but it's amicable and they're still on good terms, but they're not married anymore. So Don gets his last name back, and now I have this extra sim who has her own little apartment somewhere in Pleasantview. And I feel like it kind of fits for Don to have an ex-wife or two under his belt, so that's what I said before in the first part, and I'm explaining it again. And I'll probably explain it again when I actually play them, because I don't expect anyone watching the playthroughs, the Let's Plays, to have watched these parts, because it's a lot of talking, and yeah. But, so, yeah. So this is Don, and now I can get into his story. Um, he marries Kaylin. This picture, though, is in his bachelor pad before he married Kaylin. But, yeah, like, I immediately wanted to do something with her. And it's funny because everyone else seems to have Nina and Dawn to be these star-crossed lovers in their game, and like they're each other's soulmates, even though they're not able to commit to each other. But I never got that impression. I'm not saying it's wrong to get that impression at all. I just was blind to it, and I thought Kaylin and him were like not star-crossed lovers exactly, but like the most likely to long-term pair up. I don't know why, but that's the vibe I got. And so I had Dawn and Kaylin get together, and first she moves in, and as you can see here, and I'm gonna go to the next picture, um, and they just fall in love. And the story goes for me, what I created is that he sort of changes for her a little bit. He like calms down a little bit. Okay, so I should say my thing is that I cannot stand romance sims. I hate the trait. It's really hateable because it's not really about romance. Like wanting to, like their wants will be things like to have 3 simultaneous lovers and 10 simultaneous lovers. That is not romance. That is a sex addiction. I don't. I hate that EA calls that romance because that's not what that is. Romance is like the freaking Notebook. It's like long-term commitment and wanting to create a family. That's romantic. That's what romance is. Having 10 simultaneous lovers is not romance, okay? That's you wanting to have an O as frequently as possible. Let's just call a spade here. So I hate that trait, and I hate the name, and I hate it because they're so open to cheating, which is like objectively trash behavior. So it's a negative trait to have. Um, that all being said, I indulged it for a little bit because I didn't quite know what to do. But then I'm like, the closest approximation or the closest thing that actually exists in the game to a romance sim is like a pleasure sim. So that's what I did to all my romance sims. There aren't that many to begin with, but I made them all pleasure sims. But then I'll say I made them all more like something that felt right for their storyline. So really, it's just Dawn who got converted to a pleasure sim, and I only give you the romance trait, which is rare in my game, if you're supposed to be a villain. So, because it's like, and to me, even though this like is a bit contradictory to say to me objectively, but to me objectively, a romance trait in this game is a bad negative trait that really should be relegated to to villains in your stories, because it's the cheating trait and it's not good. So I gave it to, not that I should say I'm not opposed to Sims cheating. Sims cheat without being romance Sims in my game, but I don't like a whole trait, or what are they really called? It's not a trait, that's Sims 3. I can't think right now of what that's called, but whatever. The point is, it's a no-go in my game. I kind of undid a lot of the villainous aspects of the Sims characters that Maxis slash EA set up for us to work with, especially with Dina and Nina. Um, although I'll say I actually let Nina keep her romance trait, but I played it in a special kind of way. But I'll get to that when I get to that. The point is, Dawn in my game is a pleasure sim. And here's him and Kaylin. I think he was still a romance sim at this point, though. He wasn't a pleasure sim until he got married. Which, spoiler alert, he gets married to Kaylin. So this is them making out. Oh, well. Oh, and they had babies before they got married. They had 2 kids before they got married. And both of those girls have Kaylin's last name, Langerak. So I think the very first kid they have was a girl. I'm pretty sure the first 2 are girls. And they're called Donna and I think the second one is Emily. Donna and Emily Langerack. And here's Kaylin, and I really like this dress, this EA dress. I have a few Sims wear versions of it, or I've had a few Sims wear versions of it. Yeah, and that's just in their little apartment that is Dawn's bachelor pad, but I'm pretty sure they move into a bigger place. But yeah, for now, here's Dawn's red room, his room where he's bedded many a lady. Actually, not that many if you look through his history, but the implication is that he's bedded many women. And there's their baby sleeping in the background. That was probably the only place her crib would fit. I'm pretty sure that's Donna. That was probably Kaylin waking up for a second baby bump. Because again, they had 2 whole babies together. And I'm just sort of talking and flipping through these pictures. So, to go by a little bit faster, even though I'm already over-talked, and I'm pretty sure that's just little Donna thinking about, oh, the table is probably in her way, that's why she's thinking about it. Cutie, she's such a cutie. They make cute kids, those two. Yeah. But, okay, so the girls' babies can wear blue. So maybe that was like that mysterious Tinker picture. I wonder if that was maybe Melody Tinker as a baby, as a toddler. I don't know. The one I couldn't figure out in the last part. I was listening to it and I was like, I made myself laugh with how confused I was. Yeah, so this is Dawn giving his little baby a bath. It's always so sweet to see really any guy, but especially like a womanizing type guy, to have like to see them have like a softer side, so like a sweet side with their kid. Okay, so this is the house they bought, that really Dawn bought. I think, pretty sure Kaylin has a job. I'm pretty sure it's in cooking because her skills are like, her cooking skills out of this world. It's like almost max, if not completely max, when you add her to your household. Because they can't be a maid. I wish you could still be a maid, so there was more of a transition from it, at least for the story, from one job to another. But I just had it be, and I've actually had Sims be quote unquote maids without. Oh wait, no, I didn't. Never mind. I'll get into that. But I kind of forgot what I did, and then I just remembered. But anyway, but I just have it. I just had it because that Dawn is a little bit old fashioned, so uh, he sort of requested with heavy insistence that his wife not work as a maid. Any woman married to him should not be working as a maid, especially when the maid services, I'm a little bit surprised, but 2019 is, everyone's so much more aware of stuff like this, but the maid costume, her uniform, is really like sexualized, especially for the women. Like the guys kinda with the unbuttoned shirt, but for the women it's really inappropriate. That is really uncomfortable, really, I don't even mean inappropriate like it's too sexual or like it's like revealing too much. It is, but I mean inappropriate for like it would be considered like a fireable offense in any like legitimate agency to dress like that. That's like cosplay wear. That's like what you play for your, or what you wear for your partner, to turn them on when you're role playing like as a maid. That's not what a real maid wears. It's just like the sexy nurse outfits. It's a sexy maid outfit that you'd wear for like Halloween maybe, if you're into that sort of thing, which a lot of ladies are. But yeah, I don't like it. And I'm sure there is probably a mod where you can control that or change that, but I don't do mods for the most part. Um, None yet. Okay, so yeah, anyway, that's a picture of Dawn and Kaylin's new home. But okay, so now we jump right into one of my favorite families that I created, who again is white, but it's okay. Um, they're I don't remember their last name. Livingston, I do remember their last name. And I know the father is Ron Livingston. The woman she actually looks shorter. I do wish that little bit of realism of biology was in the game where the women were just a little bit shorter than the men, because that's our real life, but it's not that big a deal. But yeah, so that's Ron Livingston. The little girl is Kalea Livingston, and the woman is, I want to say, Bonnie Livingston. And it's so crazy because they've changed so much. They have like, I think 3 more kids than what's in this picture, than the way they started. It really does feel like I'm looking at a picture from the past. I mean, I literally am, but it's like their family really did grow. Okay, so I guess these aren't really in the best order either. Or maybe, I mean, they probably are, because, like, you don't play linearly, but this is obviously, the Lotharios in their home, Dawn and Kaylin in their new home, with old furniture. I can see some of the old furniture. And I actually have a chair in the, like, entryway. That's so weird. But, I guess this is an okay order, because maybe it's not like I play all of the Lotharios at once, so I probably, made the Livingstons, then went back to the Lotharios. I don't know. I don't remember now, obviously. But, okay, well, we are cutting to another family. This is the Burbs. What are their names? John and Jennifer Burb, yeah. And John is, well, I don't know, there's nothing special about him, but he's the guy who, if you look through your telescope in the daytime, in my game anyway, he's the default guy who you're peeping on. Everyone, even if you're in college and you're looking through your telescope, it is John who will run into your house and scream at you for peeping on him, which is crazy. I'm really curious to know what will happen when he dies, who the new Sim will be, who is the one who gets peeped on. But anyway, so this is John and Jennifer making out, and Jennifer is, I'm pretty sure, adopted, but she's Daniel's sister. I can think of her as of color. She's like mixed, I think. I don't know. And then this is the house. It wasn't until watching a recent Let's Play that I realized and was reminded, basically, that the Burbs do not come in a house already. I chose this house. I completely forgot that I chose this house. I thought they were already in this house. So that's interesting to see the furniture that I picked out, and even the house that I picked out for them. And for some reason Mortimer is here. I guess he was probably part of the, like, welcome wagon when they moved in. And that's, yeah, obviously, that's why Darren is here too. And so Lucy and Mortimer are just playing together, and who is that in the back? I'm not sure. Yeah, this is just their house. There's 3 wine things. I am almost certain that I reduced the number of wine. I don't know what to even call those. I know they have a name, but I think I reduced it to 1, if my memory is correct, because that's a lot of wine things. I don't know what they're called. Um. Oh wow, they're already gone in this picture. There are 0 wine things. So yeah, so this is the Burb home with really interesting furniture choices. Like those lamps are like interesting. I don't know what I was thinking. But I'm not that great a designer. But sometimes I make myself proud with the creations I make. Like I should say, well, I won't say that yet. But okay, so this is Lucy. This is Jennifer and John, and she is expecting her second baby. And you can see Lucy's room a bit in the background, and I guess you can see the child room, the playroom, also in the background. So yeah, this is John and Jennifer, just a bunch of romantic interactions, I'm thinking. Or not romantic, but like intimate, like he's doing peekaboo with the baby. I always like to have, and I see a lot of people like this too, to have the father acknowledge at some point that he's, that his wife or girlfriend is pregnant, and yeah, to react to that, or to engage with that reality. And this is really the only direct way you can. That's cute. John is giving Jennifer a back rub. And I like their home is a little bit crazy, but it's a little bit gaudy, or maybe tacky is the word I mean to use. But it kind of fits, because like those family homes are like, they tend to be a little bit all over the place for like middle class people, like these two. That's a sweet picture of them kissing, and then this is a picture of, I don't know who that is actually. Is that Jennifer? Eating at the dining table, and yep, those wine thingies are gone. And then this is John probably driving Lucy to school, which I was like, I don't remember exactly when each expansion pack was installed, but I remember loving that you could do that. I don't even remember which expansion pack that came with. Yeah, but it's a really cool feature. Sims 2 is just like legendary for things like this, so. And I felt like that was a good family van for them. They're like a working class family. Okay, so this is Lucy with her baby brother, and I'll say his name. It's Ricky. That's what I named him. That's what Jennifer thought it would be cute to name him. Jennifer and John, of course, they agreed. And it's like Lucy and Ricky. And hopefully you totally get that, and you don't need to look it up. Yeah. And that's another angle of it, and it's really cute, and they're really cute. Little Ricky. He's a big boy now, but this was way back when. Oh, there's a pizza person in their house. A pizza person. Oh, I see. This is like a bit of a time jump, but it's not really, because the next stage is from kid is teen. So I should explain a little bit of backstory. I really love what I did with the Burbs and Lucy and everyone in the Pleasants. So there's a few things to say here. Well, first, is that I had it so that Lucy was really, 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 really obsessed with her cousin, Lilith. She loved her style. She loved uh, her look and her like, not just her look, her like her spirit, her rebellious spirit. She like Lilith is so like honest and unafraid to say her opinion, and she's a rebel in like a good way and a way that gets her in trouble, that got her in trouble, but she's just really really forthcoming and like, what word do I really mean to say? She's really confident. That's really it. In a cool way, cuz like Angela's also confident, but in a different way. In a nerdy way kinda. But okay, actually should probably start with them. Angela and Lilith. I don't want to talk too much, but basically the way Lilith is presented, her version of goth, or I should say EA's version of goth, when I saw it, at least this time around, because I don't think I ever really bothered to change her until my 2013 playthrough or save. Uh, I it wasn't until then where I'm like, nice suggestion, EA. But I think we can do better with your own clothes, with the clothes you provide. So what I did was change Lilith to be more goth, more like, not even goth. She's like goth, but it's not quite goth. It's more like punk. And I thought that suited her better. And I had her dye her hair. And I have this thing where every time I have a sim dye their hair, I always keep their eyebrows as their natural color. Kind of like it's supposed to be like an aesthetic choice, but also it's to remind me of what their natural hair color was. Not that I would ever forget what Lilith's was, but I might have actually dyed her eyebrows. I don't remember anymore. But it kind of looks cool to have that contrast. But it's not like we're even on a picture where you can see that yet. But it's gonna come up, and I can see Lilith is in the background of this picture. So I just had to explain why Lilith is dressed like this instead of as we know her, and why what's her name? Lucy is dressed like that. So Lilith is just totally, she likes Angela too, of course, and loves her cousins and family, but she's really like into Lilith. Like Lilith was her biggest influence. And also what's her name? Lucy was like also an artsy kind of kid. So let me try to tell this in order. So Lilith was more like punk. Got like, I think this is sort of under the umbrella of goth a little bit, but it's more like punk. And I much prefer what I did with her look than what EA did. And you'll see it up close in a few pictures from now. And so Lucy was inspired to be artistic, and she sort of also just has an artistic nature. And she was especially inspired when, her middle class, working class parents, Lucy's middle class, working class parents, decided to give her a leg up in the world. Private school was probably best. Lucy didn't even want to go, really, although a part of her wanted to go because she's kind of a nerd, even though she tries to sort of play too cool for school a little bit. She's also like really good at school and enjoys it. But she also like feels like you're not supposed to enjoy school, but she does. So but she didn't want to really go to private school. She thought it was too uncool, and especially because her friend, her best friend, who I'll just say is Kalea from the Livingston family, we came across earlier. That's her age mate. They're besties, and she didn't want to leave her, but yeah, but she had to spread her wings. Although What? Okay, so they put her in private school, just her, because there was only her at the time of the dean's arrival. But it's so expensive, and again, they are a working class family, perfectly middle class, a little lower, and because like John is a cop, and I don't remember what Jennifer does, but anyway, so they are so what they found, which I don't need to reveal now, but I will, because anyway, so what they found was what Lucy's parents found is that private school is a little bit of a waste of money. Um, and also the revelation there uh, about private school and Lucy's experience is that she she became really into fashion, and I remember I bought her all these clothes because she really hated the idea of wearing a uniform, so she like took any opportunity to express herself and her individuality in her clothing. So she had a lot of different outfits that maybe Chelsea. Oh, that was a spoiler. Whatever. Chelsea is the third Burb child, um, and is Lucy's little sister, and so maybe Chelsea will wear those clothes. But so yeah, there's three Burb kids. Um, I think I covered everything I need to. Oh, and I just realized the wine things are back. So I really went back and forth with those, I see. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Okay, this is Della Rose. Oh, I remember this. I remember she walked past the house, and I didn't know who this Sim was. I just thought her face looked so unique, so I took a picture of her. And then I would later learn, like, really learn and remember that this is Florence Della Rosa. So, yeah, the florist of Blue Water Village. Okay. Oh, and this is just another picture with the wall up. And another, and another, and another. Okay. And then we're back at the Burbs, and still the wine things are there. Oh, and I think Ricky is learning to walk after having some smart milk. And there's Lucy in the back. And I just like thought this is like prime time for teenagehood is when Sims dye their hair. So I thought, and I really like that hairstyle because it really does look like dyed hair. It doesn't look like natural blonde hair, especially for on Sims who are like of a darker complexion. And I think Lucy is skin tone too, so it really stands out when she has that blonde hair. And her parents are totally nurturing of her, emulating her cousin and being artsy fartsy and all that. Okay, so close up, better shot of Ricky learning to, I think, walk. Yeah, that's what's happening. Okay, going to the next. Okay, and now we're at the Salamanca house. It's really big, see? And I made this house from scratch, so I was pretty proud of it. Kind of looks like a farmhouse though, 'cause the color. But yeah, I was pretty proud of this. I built this thing from the ground up. I both love and hate building. It's like such a chore, but I often like the result, and I feel proud even when it's kind of crappy. I still feel proud because I put in all that work. So I like this. It's like kind of simple, but it's like I made that, so that's why I'm proud of it. Um, okay, so these are the Livingstons. So already, oh, it's not Bonnie, it's Connie. I remember that's Connie Livingston, and already her hair is different. And I think the next children they had were twins, and I think that's one of the twins. So it's Kalea, and then her twin sisters Nellie and Jasmine, and this is Connie playing with one of the twins, I think. at the dollhouse. Okay, well, this is Kalea holding her baby, I'm gonna assume sister, one of the twins. Yeah. And this is Ron and Connie in bed. And they also live in like the more trailer type home. And they're both family Sims, I believe. And so they, of course, had a lot of kids. Well, like 4 or 5, maybe. Yeah, so this is Kalea, Lucy's best friend, with her twin sisters, Nellie and Jasmine. And Nellie's like kind of based on Nellie Mackay, the singer, personality-wise. She's like really smart. And like, I don't know, Sims can't really demonstrate feministic behavior in this game, and they don't need to, because Pleasantview, Pleasantropolis, it's a utopia where stuff like feminism is not needed, and literally male Sims are just as strong. Excuse me, female Sims are just as strong as male Sims, literally. Like, if they're fighting, literally fighting, it's anyone's battle, it's anyone's match, anyone can win, which is, I mean, you know, that's sim physics, that's sim biology. They don't, no one is stronger, so that's pretty cool. So this is the coolest friend group. This is Lucy in her private school clothes with her best friend from her public school days, Kalea, on her left. And on her right, this redheaded boy is just a towny sim. I forget his name. I think it's Justin something. Or Brandon? But I don't remember. But he's poor, and Kalea's poor, and Lucy's not quite rich, but wealthier than both of them. Not that any of that really matters. They are all best friends, and I just loved playing them. Like, every minute playing them was so fun, and it was so, and slowly Kalea will just like spoil. Kalea slowly gets influenced by Lucy, and eventually like dyes her hair and kind of sports a not quite gothic look, but just a teenage, like, slightly angsty look, a slight emo look, nothing so serious. Um, but so eventually Kalea will dye her blonde hair black, and Justin, or I want to say Justin, he just sits back and watches his BFFs, his girl BFF. I shouldn't need to say girl BFFs. His best friends. He watches his best friends uh, experiment with their look, and he does not indulge, but he likes them however they decide to express. Um, so this trio was just so fun, and I should have been going through these, because I know every time I was playing them, I took a lot of pictures of them. Like, too many. Yeah, so that's Kalea's, I was gonna say dad, but I guess it's her mom and dad's pickup truck over there. Yeah, they were just so fun, and so they felt so real. Like, they literally reminded me of people I knew. And see, that hair, you can really see how unnaturally blonde it is. That's why it looks like the perfect hair to pretend is a dye job. Because look at Kalea's more natural blonde hair, and look in the same category is Lucy's hair. And it's like white. So, yeah. Okay. So this is Kalea's home again, but that's like, I think that's Jasmine. Jasmine Livingston is more like, I guess, for lack of a better term, more like a girly girl, or traditional girl, I guess. And then Nellie is more like dorky and smart. Not that you can't be a girly girl who's dorky and smart, but that's those are like the archetypes they live in. Jasmine is the like girly girl archetype, and Nellie's the like brainiac dork archetype. Again, modeled after Nellie Mackay. Okay, here, this is like the first semi-decent shot of Lilith in this outfit. So this is Lilith, and she, of course, she got some drums, and I guess I'll say more about what I did with them since we're at another pleasant pick. And by them I mean Angela and Lilith. So at first they were constantly fighting, even when she was dressed, even when I gave them makeovers. I don't know that I gave Angela a makeover, but even when I gave Lilith a makeover, they were still like enemies. But then, kind of unified by Lucy and her wishing for them to not argue and fight so much, they kind of slowly started to hate each other less. Although I think most of their teen years were spent not respecting the other one and not respecting their expression style or their choices. Lilith thought Angela was so lame. Angela thought Lilith was such a gross, dirty punk and not living up to her potential because Lilith didn't do very well in school. But then really it wasn't until they went to college, which, spoiler alert, they go to college, that they started to appreciate each other from afar. They went to different colleges. I should say, again, because I said it in the first part, but I understand if you didn't watch that because it's very long and it's very, it doesn't progress very much. But I assigned all of the colleges to Pleasant View, to the Pleasant View hood / to Pleasant View. And what am I saying? Each university represents like a different kind of school you would find in real life. The Academy Latour is the like Harvard type of school, the Ivy League. The Sim State is the state school, average, but filled with good professors. They're all filled with good professors, in my mind. And the La Fiesta Tech School is the party school, but also is the art school. So yeah, and actually, just a side note, I actually also have a community college in La Fiesta Tech that is an option for Sims to attend, and I play it in a very specific kind of way. I don't do mods, so it's just about how I play it that makes it a community college. But anyway, so they eventually do find common ground later, but for now, at least in this moment in this picture, she's a punk, she's a rebel, she's Lilith is just totally a badass. Okay. Oh, I like talk and talk, and there's a better picture right around the corner. So of course, Lilith is heavy into drums, and yeah. Oh, I think this is a dorm. I don't know. Oh, I did a thing where I don't know if we're gonna get into their pictures yet, but I'll just say, I did a thing where when I had those twins, the boy-girl twins that come with one of the EPs, I don't remember which. Larson, Jody, and what's their brother's name? Jody and something Larson. The Larson twins. I did a thing where I didn't know what to do with them, so I aged them down to teens, and then I sent them both to university. And I guess this is one of the pictures from that time in their lives. And this is also probably a picture from that time in their lives. And now we're back to the Livingstons, and looks like Jasmine is sleeping on the couch, and Ron is there, and Kalea is there washing a dish. Jasmine eating some sort of food that looks burnt. Okay. And then Connie has fallen asleep. And Ron is worried about her. Okay. So I think I'll take a break now, since it's been about an hour. And I guess I'll see you at the next part, at part 3. Thank you all so much for sticking around this long. For whoever stuck around this long, you deserve a prize. Thank you. See you at the next part. Bye.